So I had to wrap up what I was sharing in the previous video, so it doesn't like take so long. But I'm just gonna try and speed read through what I learned from this particular video I watched from Aaron Golden. So this is just like some additional tips. Yeah. So it says balance is a season of life and not the objective of life. I think I've heard various speakers say this too. If you know Alex Omozi, I think Diary of a CEO, Stephen Bartlett also has mentioned this particular statement. It says, balance is a season of life, not the objective of life. When you are in focus, you are out of balance. They don't happen at the same time. So you can't say you are focused and then you are balanced. Living a balanced life. Let me be as fast as I can. You need to combine imagination and communication. Yes, you do. You need to combine imagination and communication because it just cannot just remain in your head. If it remains in your head, it's as good as not coming to your head at all. So I think this was my coach, not my coach, someone I refer to, like I regard him as a very good friend. I think it was the first person I heard this particular statement from. He says, if you can't communicate what is in your head, it's useless. Whatever is in your head, you have to communicate it. Trust me. It's useless until you communicate it. So you need to combine imagination and communication. You need to think differently to start talking differently. You need to think differently to start talking differently. Be, do, have. I think there'll probably be another video to expatiate on this particular concept: the being, the doing, and then the having. And then it says you either let it happen by default or you can make it happen by design. Let your communication, that is what you do, flow out of your character, who you are, and then you can receive your compensation. That is what you have. It's still under the concept of be, do, have. So it says, let your communication flow out of your character and then you receive your compensation. You do what you do because of who you are. You do what you do because of who you are. The person you are becoming when nobody is watching is what makes you worth looking at when nobody is looking. So I'll say that again. The person you become when nobody is watching, you are becoming when nobody is watching, is what makes you worth looking at when everybody is looking. It makes you worth listening when you speak. I don't know, there's a particular phrase that says, you are who you are when nobody is really watching. Like that character that you display when nobody is watching is your true character. And then it says, to become a better communicator, read more books, especially the Bible. Yes, I emphasize on that very well. To become a better communicator, read more books, especially the Bible. The Bible is a book. Sorry for that, but the Bible is a book. It's not just one other like something that we don't really one distant something. It is a book that you need to read. It's a book. It's a manual for life. Read about things that affect your life. Take notes on your thoughts when you read them. Thinking is the hardest work most people never do. Thinking is the hardest work most people never do. Then he says, attend more classes, courses, webinars, go learn something. And then this particular word, he explained this particular word, he said amusement. A lot of us, I think it was yesterday or day before yesterday, I came across this reel on Instagram. It was a particular lady, I can't remember her handle. She was talking about what's something happening in Nigeria at the moment. It says, I think it's called the Lodo Uprising. And I could resonate with that because I was really happy because I'm seeing something that someone is talking about that I resonate with. And she mentioned this particular statement. It says a lot of us in this country, a lot of us in Nigeria, a lot of people all over the world also always seek to entertain themselves rather than educate themselves. Trust me, educating yourself is boring. That's why most times school to an extent is not total gibberish, because to an extent it teaches you to do the boring things. It teaches you to do the boring thing, to sit down for at least 3 hours, listen to a particular person to gain information and knowledge. So yes, a lot of people can't just sit down. They always want to be amused. They want to just be entertained. There should be time for that, but it shouldn't be the major part of your life. So it says amusement, really. Amuse. Against. Muse, thinking. That is, amusement is basically against thinking. You don't want to just think. That's why you just want to amuse yourself. Just want to feel good at the moment. When he explained this word, I was like, seriously? I would have probably just felt that amused, just to make me feel jovial and stuff like that. But really, when you say someone muses, M-U-S-E, muse, the person is taking an intentional step to think. When you not say amuse, against thinking. So that was, let's muse. Let's not get amused. Let's be mused. Let's all muse. Let's think properly. If you don't have any intention, neglect will take over your day. Yeah. If you don't set what to do, if you're not intentional about your day, I think whatever I say usually links to each other. It says, if you don't have any intention, neglect would take over the day. Nobody has to intend or try to fail. All they have to do is intend not to succeed. There's this, I think it's physics law, that says an object that is left to it, something will move towards some, I think, destruction. I don't really know how they put it, but I feel if you don't make good of something, it will definitely lead or go towards destruction. So yeah, success requires intention and failure requires neglect. Stop blaming people for your life not getting better. Stop blaming people for your life not getting better. I can go a lot. I can go into that, but whenever I just listen to some people and they complain about what's happening in their life being caused by someone else, it almost just turns me off. I can't really get involved in that conversation because I've gotten knowledge, I've gotten information, so I can't just be complaining on someone because of the results I'm having, because of the life I'm living. No, I'll take responsibility for the life I live. I can't be saying someone else caused what I'm going through. Yeah, sometimes some people might be planning bad against you, but trust me, if you take your life into your hands with the help of God and the Holy Spirit, no matter what they do, you can't be a victim. You can't just be a victim, no matter what they do. So just focus on your life. Be intentional about your life. Don't blame others. Don't blame others. It says when you want a better experience in life, get better at communication. And when you want a better experience in life, get better at communication. And before expecting to partake in the conversation. Okay, I'll say that again. When you want a better experience in life, get better at communication and before expecting to partake in the conversation. That is, before you experience wealth, you need to be able to communicate well to experience a better life. Yeah. It says the image of God existed before God created man. That is the highest level of. And then you go to Genesis to read this particular part that I'm talking about now. It says the image of God existed before God created man. That is the highest level of communication of level of value. That is imagination, the image of God. Then God said, that is the second level of value, communication. Then He taught the Trinity to do some work, unification. He gathered the Trinity to do something. Then God formed man. He used his hand to do something. He used his quote and unquote labor, his muscle to do something. He moved the muscle to do something. Then God formed man, the implementation, which is the fourth level of value. Yes, God formed man, which is the fourth level of value, implementation. You need to become congruent with God and His truth. If you don't take action, it is all meaningless. That's the end. If you don't take action, it is all meaningless. If you don't take action, it is all meaningless. I pray this one I just shared blessed you one way or the other. You can go read Genesis chapter 1 and I think chapter 2 also. You will understand that even since that Genesis, God already put in place the levels of value. Thank you for watching. Even so, my head is. If you don't take action, it is all meaningless. I pray this blesses you. Have a nice day ahead. No. If you don't take action, it is all meaningless. I pray that this blesses you, that you learn one or two, and you're going to put it into action. You know the 4 levels of value and be able to apply them in your life. Stay blessed. Bye. Oh my God. If you don't take action, it is all meaningless. If you don't take action, it is all meaningless. I hope that we learn one or two and be able to apply it in our daily life. Thank you for watching. See you next time.